Welcome to Car Talk with Matty J. Another Tuesday night, more car-related topics as per usual. In the studio with James. How you going?
Hey, how you going?
Not bad. And Mr. Daniel's come back again. 2 weeks in a row. The bug's bit. What's happening?
Yeah, a bit of fun last time, so I thought I'd best make another appearance.
It's more than a pleasure to have you on, mate.
Thank you.
So tonight we're talking all things Classic Japan. I didn't get. I've never actually been to Classic Japan.
You're missing out.
Apparently it's like dope. Like it's the jam, and I've missed out the last few years. And it was on recent. Was it this weekend? It was on.
Yeah, the last weekend on Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. And you got the car's gonna be 25 years or older to get in, right?
That's correct. Yeah, so anything 25 years and older. So you get anything from the 70s all the way up, even some really rare stuff.
Yeah, nice.
So like Prince.
Oh yeah, wow.
Prince manufacturers. Yeah, so that's even before Datsun and before Nissan. So. Yeah,
that's dope. So that means my Club Reg Paseo will be able to. I'm kidding.
You know, funny enough, well, it would be if it's over 25 years. Well, then, yeah.
Up the Paseo, mate. Up the Paseo. It's just a track car. Now the type of cars you see, they obviously vary. Do they have like old Crowns and stuff as well? Or?
Yeah. Some of the old Toyotas come out, and so you get to see some really rare stuff. So old like two-door Coronas and things like that. Stuff that you'll never see on the road here, and then all the way up. So you see plenty of like KE70s and things like that.
There's heaps of them.
And then to what I consider like a modern classic. So like your 32 GTRs and maybe some rotaries in the form of an FC.
FC,
yeah. So things like that, and the Mark III Supras there.
Oh yeah, true. Too. Yeah, the old 7M.
Yeah, that's it.
Head gaskets. No, they're a good engine once you get them sorted.
Yeah, once you retorque the head,
yeah,
because it came stuff from factory. So
yeah, that was a big mistake. It kind of gave the Mark III a bad name, but if I've always said Mark III is good if you get that sorted. They're actually a good decent car.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Crusaders were using the same engine.
They were.
So they wouldn't have used it if it wasn't good.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't know if you guys would have seen this before, but I saw a Crusader, supercharged Crusader from factory.
Yes, there were diesel versions as well.
There you go.
That never came here. Yeah, so you can get them with the supercharger as well. They had a couple of different inklings, so yeah. Once again, Australia missing out.
Yeah.
But the rest of the world got some gold.
Yeah. Damn it. Typical.
It's always the case,
It's always the case. But it's good to see we're getting a fair few cars that are over 25 years old coming in now that we weren't able to get previously, and it's when you go to different car meets to see all these different cars you've never seen before in person. You've seen in pictures and stuff. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, especially with the internet, everyone's got all these builds going on overseas, and it's just cool to see when some of these rarities come out and you go, wow, I didn't even know there was one in Australia, let alone a couple of them in Melbourne or.
Didn't know this existed.
Yeah, exactly. that too. So, there's some really cool stuff.
What is the car that Dan has?
So Dan from Roop, JDM Parts.
Yeah.
If you ever need wheels, go see him. Just a
free plug.
But he's got a Mazda AZ1.
Oh, yeah.
So
they're cool.
Little key car with the
Is that the only one in Australia or something?
There's few of them.
Yeah. I've seen one in person.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's not many of them around. You could probably count on two hands the amount. But I know that he searched long and hard to find one.
It would have been a pain in the ass.
Yeah. I know a guy's got a Honda Beat.
Oh, yeah?
The same thing.
Was it the green one that goes to those meets?
It was a red one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty cool when I saw that in person.
I remember the first time I saw a Honda Beat, they're tiny as, I don't know how they fit, and the guy was 6 foot something getting out of it. I'm like, bloody hell, how did you fit?
They're smaller than the Cappuccino, right?
They are smaller than the Cappuccino, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I've been in a Cappuccino once, and you can't see, but I'm not exactly the smallest guy. And I had to have the window down so I could hold the steering wheel.
Wow.
Because my elbows were hitting
tucked in?
Yeah. It was good, though.
But then they drive mad, though.
Yeah, because they're rear-wheel drive.
Go-kart.
Yeah.
3-cylinder.
Turbo as well?
Turbo, yeah.
They got some really cool, funny, crazy stuff in Japan.
Yeah, and again, we miss out and very few people know of.
That's right. I know in New Zealand that they were allowed to get cars a lot earlier than us in terms of and they've got a bigger range of Japanese cars they can get.
Yeah, their import laws are pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty relaxed there.
Well, because they never had as far as I know, they didn't have
a manufacturer or something.
Yeah, that's right. So they just said, well, what can we get? And
yeah.
Obviously, Japan, lots of cars.
It's not too far away.
Exactly. Yeah.
I remember, I don't know if she was still there in your time, but she was a teacher at our school we went to high school. And she was from New Zealand, and she had a Toyota Sierra, with the gull-wing doors. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? Like, the first time I saw it, I'm like, what the hell is this? And she's like, oh, yeah, these weren't released here. I'm from New Zealand, and I just brought it over with me.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, that's...
More cars to bring with you, though.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Well, I mean, you must like the car.
That's the right idea.
Yeah, she's like, the gas struts and the gull-wing don't work anymore, but apart from that, it was... I think they're based on a Paseo chassis anyway. Yeah, so... in terms of maintenance, they're pretty simple, but yeah, like it was cool stuff like that. Like I'm like, holy crap, I never even knew that existed at the time, and this is going back over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it'd be cool. It's cool to go to stuff like that and see these different cars that you don't see every day.
Well, it's good. Like we all grew up in different eras, so like I grew up in the '90s, so seeing like all these like rotaries and. You know, the cars that when they came out was when I was still in primary school, the car that you had on the wall. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas now it's obviously moved on and being able to get up and close personal with some of these. And most of the owners are really more than happy to talk about it and let you jump in and take a look. So that's really good. It's a good little car event that really welcomes everyone.
That's good. Like if the vibe's good at a car meet like that, that's what you want. But speaking of cars that we had on our wall, like these cars felt like new back when I was like on getting my license and stuff. They're like, oh yeah, they're not that old. And now, I'm like, holy crap, these cars are 25 years old. What the hell?
It kind of really sinks in that when you look at it in your time, you just go, oh yeah, that is really, it's that old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 32 GTRs or even 32s in general were like people just throwing them away. Like one stage, like they were just like not GTRs but 32s and like GTSTs and stuff. So like on my piece, everyone was having them, everyone was crashing them, and now everyone's like, oh well, they're kind of getting sought after now. We should And I'm like, far out. It's hard to think that these cars are over that age. It's nuts.
I mean that was the thing. The 32 especially, like it dipped in value and you could pick them up for nothing, and now. A really clean GTST or
GTS4.
Yeah, GTS4. They're actually gaining a bit of popularity again because it's like, wow, you don't see them anymore, and the parts are getting harder to get. It's like anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about cars that we think if you can get a hold of them now while they're about to boom, because I think the 80s and early 90s Jap stuff, especially. Because America can get them now.
Yeah, Canada can get a lot of the 32 GTRs, and as soon as they were able to, they were just buying up the market.
Yeah,
prices overnight at the auctions in Japan just skyrocketed.
Yeah. So we're going to give you the heads up on what to look for, what we think of what our picks pretty much. But we'll get to that right after this. We're going to go to a song by George Maple, Aussie artist, because we support Aussie artists here on Community Radio. The song's called Hero. We'll be right back after this. That was George Maple with Hero. Real cool track off her latest album. You're back on CarTorque with Matty J, still in the studio with Daniel and James. What's happening?
Yeah, not much.
How you doing?
So we were talking about Classic Japan. Now, I don't know much about this event. All I know is it runs pretty much every year. It was in Adelaide for...
Yeah, they've had it in Adelaide as well. Yeah. Nice down by the beach at this massive park. It's a really cool event. I missed that year. I would have liked to have taken my MX-5.
Yeah, that would have been dope, yeah.
Yeah. But, one of those things. It travels around. It's a good show.
Yeah. So you guys went last year, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, last year.
And anything different to like a usual, like car show meet?
It's not like I guess it's more reserved, as in people are a bit more interested in what the vehicles are and, information more of the spec.
More of the mature scene.
Yeah, more of the mature crowd. Like you still have the younger guys who want to go out and go, oh, that's pretty cool. But as a whole, it's like if you go to like some of the older hot rodder kind of things. So you have like, the guys that, really maintain and look after these cars. And then you have the younger guys that are like, oh, let's just see some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a good mix, but it's more centered towards the mature scale, I reckon.
Yeah. I don't know if you've been to, they have it every year in Williamstown on Seaworks, small Fords. Oh, yeah. It's like only like old Escorts and Cortinas and really cool old stuff. And the people there are so chill. It's got, a similar vibe to what you're telling me from there. Like they're really laid back, really love their cars, really look after them. They're immaculate.
RS Club runs there.
The RS Club, yeah. So like you see all the original RSs to like new RSs.
Oh wow!
And
So it's got the nice scaling factor. Oh,
it does, yeah, and it even covers like the Japanese Fords, so like the lasers, the Capris, and stuff like that,
wow.
which is really good. It just covers the whole range, and yeah, the vibe there is really really good. It's really chill. People love their cars. No one really beats a dick. So
yeah, well, and that's what you want. Like, it's all well and good to have like your hot import nights or auto salon with that kind of aspect, because like the real heady modifiers. But you still want to see some of the more relaxed kind of guys where you can actually talk to the owner and get a feel for them and their car and their pride and joy most of the time. So
yeah, and like I know James from Manvers Movies, when we did the Nugget Nationals, the people in all the pits there were like so chill, like they're like about all their cars, like we're racing pieces of crap, but like they were just like we just have a laugh, and it was good to have that vibe with proper like not proper but like other motoring enthusiasts that like actually care.
Yeah, so it's just a different, I guess, niche of those people versus others, I suppose.
Yeah,
but it's good to have that variation. You wouldn't want the same motor show every year. It just get tiresome.
Yeah, it'd be a bit boring.
Yeah.
I went to Mazda's at Merrimoo.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was there. Yeah. When I had my MX-5. Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I didn't mind that one. I saw some. There was a whole range of cars there, which was really nice.
Like say, it had all the old Escort, excuse me, old 808s and RX3s all the way through, and they kind of had like everyone who was like a fan of Mazdas. It was really good.
Was the 767 there when you went?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
There was the
they had the rotary. Yeah, the RX-8. They had the front off
touring car.
Yeah,
that was cool.
That was crazy. It was loud.
Yeah.
I remember him starting like, wow, okay. But it was cool. Like I was emailing the guy, and they're like, "Oh, you've got a Ford Mazda. You're more than welcome to come." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, just come." Like there was TX3 turbos and everything. I was like, "Okay, that's." I mean, that's pretty cool. So, really laid back again, like a nice atmosphere. Really cool cars. I saw. How do you say? Is it Luce or Loose?
Oh, I can say I call it Loose, but that's me. I'm probably wrong, but
I mean, it's basically a 99, right? Like just with
like a Japanese spec.
Yeah.
So obviously
cool.
Yeah, it had a 13B in it, I believe. Like, turbo was. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
It's based on the Cosmo motor, Cosmos or Cosmo.
Oh, okay, there you go.
No, I don't even know. That's a CarTorque factoid. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to call that. But thanks, James. We'll come up with something. we'll end up trademarking something. But yeah, so there was a couple of events on the weekend. There was also the I forgot what it was called, but the Italian, like people race all old classic cars all through. They went to the Great Ocean Road.
You're talking about Old Geelong Revival or something?
No, I'll get the name of it in a sec. But it was a really really cool event, and I was looking at all the information about it, and
there was a rock fest on 2 weeks ago, I think, down Rye Way.
Okay,
which was old school cruisers, Melbourne old school cruisers. They ran like literally. There was like go down there. The club goes down there. And then there's like 6 or 7 events on every day for like the whole weekend throughout Rosebud and Rye. And they had cruisers on. They had like an old school dance, like a rock fest, like based in the 60s.
Oh, yeah, like a 50s, 60s dance.
Yeah. I don't mind that. That's pretty cool.
They had like drive-ins, like car show at the drive-ins with the movie and that.
People on roller skates coming up to say.
So I don't know, man. It was like the start of that Need for Speed movie with the old school guys.
Oh, yeah, when they're all at the old drive-in on the hill before they go racing, yeah. Funny as that, I just watched that movie the other day. Hadn't seen it since the cinema. It still holds up.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's called the where is it? I've got it here now. The Florio Australian Tribute event. It's the world's prestigious Tiger Florio Australian Tribute touring event, which starts at the harbour, the Esplanade and Docklands. The scrutineering starts, and it's a full 3-4 day event.
Oh wow!
And they drive these old cars, like there's old Porsches and pretty much everything.
That's interesting.
Yeah, really, really cool. Really cool. I'm just getting it up now. The email which I got. Brian from the station linked me to it because I had no idea what was going on. So thank you to him. But yeah, it was a really, really, really cool event. They do the Great Ocean Road. Day 1 they do the Great Ocean Road, so they meet up at Docklands for scrutineering. Day 2 they go to Mornington Peninsula, Phillip Island and the Yarra Valley. Day 3 So no, that is day 3. So day 1 and 2 they come back all the way through there, through the Gradation Road. And day 3 they end up in Dandenong Ranges. Sorry, day 4. So really long drive for these old cars,
especially for something like of that vintage. Like, hopefully there wasn't any alphas there because I'd be surprised they got through the scrutineering.
Rust, not starting.
Rust, it was held together with rust.
Yeah,
and hopes and dreams.
Alpha Suds.
I must say I do like some of the old alphas though.
Yeah,
like the early stuff. Like, I would never own it because I just don't want that much pain. I'm not a masochist, but
do you like those new ones, like 4C or something? I think Lorbeck had 2 of them.
Yeah. I had a tinker with one of those 4C. Those things.
What are they like?
Cool. They're cool. I never got to drive it, but
it's like a Lotus take on
Alpha's take.
Alpha's take on Lotus.
Okay,
but yeah, no, it was amazing car.
Because apparently the 8C was rubbish, and they're like, well, like it would look good, it sounded amazing, but it drove like crap. And then the 4C came along and it was actually quite decent.
The 4C, from my limited touching of it, it was cool. I really liked it. Everything looked good. Like, I'm a massive fan of carbon fibre, so like when you step in and you see where the paint ends and the carbon starts, it's like, oh yeah, it is all carbon. Better not to scuff it and stuff. But it's a very cool car.
I always remember that episode of Top Gear when they're looking at an E-Type Jag and they could see the manifold through the air vents on the side of the car, and like Jeremy Clark's like, I need to go to the lavatory. I'm having a mess right now because you can see car parts. But yeah, I totally get that. Really, really, really cool. I was always a fan of the 4C. I reckon
it's very striking, very different.
Yeah, something that coming out of Alfa Romeo, that's cool. The new Julia is pretty cool as well, which I don't mind. But apparently they're breaking pretty. They're pretty fragile.
What you mean, like an Alfa?
Yes.
Yeah, funnily enough, going back to their roots, you see. So,
fun car, brake a lot, but I don't understand that statement. Oh, you're not a true car enthusiast unless you've owned an Alpha. I'm like, well, I don't really want to have pain all my life.
I think that's just like the idea. You start with an Alpha, you work out with you're a real car enthusiast or not. Because if you can put up with one of them, you can put up with anything.
Anything, yeah. I know my partner's dad had a 75, Alpha 75, and he loved it, but he's like, it was the biggest piece of shit he ever had. It was junk, but he's like, he loved it. It was engaged. When it was working, it was good to drive, but it was just a constant nightmare. He ended up giving it to the wreckers because it was just falling apart.
Yeah. Like most Alphas, yeah.
Yeah. We're not bagging Alphas, well, kind of are, but yeah. If you look, I guess, but there's a big Alpha following though. Like the people do love them.
I mean, they do look really nice. The interiors are still very nice. All the leather and stuff is really well done. I mean, there's lots of things to like about an Alpha. Just obviously, there's a lot of things that you can pick on. But I mean, anyone can say that about any make or model. I mean, I drive a fancy Toyota, so I mean, I'll take a crack. So
yeah,
I mean, everything's got the pros and cons.
Yeah, that is true. I'll be in agreement with you on that. But yeah, look, we'll move it on anyway with finding out what cars we think are possibly going to go up in value from that era of Japanese cars, which I think was the golden era, to be honest. Like that in
the late 80s to mid 90s.
Yeah, to mid 90s, yeah. Or to like early 2000s when my dream one of my dream cars is a Spirit R Type A RX-7, FD, because it's perfect in my eyes. Apparently they're incredible to drive and really, really good. But I'd never be able to afford one because they're worth a lot of money. But in terms of like the golden era, definitely in the 90s, because everyone's synonymous with like 90s Japanese cars. That's when I think Japanese cars really, really took off.
Yeah,
and
well, Japan had a lot of money to throw into engineering, and they did. They just went ham, and they didn't slow down. So, I mean, that's why the evolution of all the Skylines, Supra coming from where it was, which was based on the Celica originally, and slowly moving up. So there's a lot to like about the 90s in terms of vehicles, especially coming out of Japan.
I mean, like they Evo WRX, GTOs, which people are still umming and ahhing about.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I reckon time's going to tell them that.
I reckon they're a good looking car.
Yeah, I mean, I think they look nice, but whether or not they're going to grab the appeal of many people, I don't think that will be the case. But I still think there's going to be a good cult following in years to come on those.
Because I know a lot of them. I know they were very expensive to fix when they went wrong, and because they were really really techie for the time, like crazy over the top. A lot of them that were just too expensive to repair just got thrown away. So like the really clean ones are really
few and far between.
And when you do see a clean one, you're like, wow, I respect that. That is a really nice car.
Well, there's one driving around the western suburbs. I still see it every now and then, a yellow one.
Okay.
And it always catches my eye because it's just like, wow, a GTO. You don't really see them around, and it looks really nice. It looks really well looked after.
They were really expensive for their time too. Like they were close to like $100,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they weren't cheap here.
Yeah, I would have thought. Yeah, that sounds about right for the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, like crazy money. Like even the SVXs, which are a weird car.
Oh, the Subaru. Yeah, were they badged as like a Vortex or something? Is that what?
No, the Vortex was like in the 80s.
Okay.
So Vortexes are another one, another whole story to talk about. A really weird box on wheels. It was drawn with a bloody ruler. But cool in weird Japanese-esque cars.
Yeah, because they had a really pointy front.
They did.
I remember. Yeah, really sloping front.
With pop-ups.
Yeah, pop-up lights.
So, I mean, come on.
Pop-up lights.
It's
I
cool.
don't care, it's cool.
With the NSX.
NSX, I love.
I mean, they've already
lights
shot
as well.
up, but yeah, they've already shot up in value.
Yeah.
They've in the last like probably 3-4 years, they've gone nuts. NSX. They were just so unappreciated. And
Some like, they're asking 90 to 100 grand right now for decent ones.
I mean, for like even a crappy one, they're asking good money for these days. So
Well, again, it's one of those things you can't import them anymore either. So whatever's you can get parts, but you can't get anything else.
There's 2 variants, I believe. Yeah.
There was a Series 1 NSX and a Series 2. The Series 1s had the pop-ups. Series 2s didn't.
And then
and they had a bigger engine as well.
Yeah, they had different engine, and I think there was also autos available as well.
There was,
which was really weird. Why would you?
Japan, because Japan.
Yeah,
That's why.
Because America.
Oh,
Because we have to appeal to fat people, fat lazy people who can't drive.
Well, believe it or not, 90% of cars sold here are auto.
Yeah, well, as you said, autos have changed in the years. Like autos are now really good, but I don't know, driving a manual's
It's more engaging.
yeah.
And a car like an NSX, it has to be a manual.
Yeah, exactly. Like you wouldn't.
They shouldn't have had that variant. Like that's
Well,
something they could have invested in other places.
As we talked about last week on the show with the MX-5s, they shouldn't have had an automatic option. Like, an MX-5 is a car that you just should not have been allowed to have an automatic.
Well,
It's like having the RS now. You can't get an auto RS, so why would you?
Now, I respect Ford for that. It was like the biggest middle finger to like everyone else. Like, it's going to be a manual. Buy it or don't buy it at all.
yeah, well, that's good. It's good that you have like, if there's a lesser option, you say, okay, we'll put the auto in this, but. Why not have specifically targeted?
I mean, I get like really high end performance cars now with super quick DSGs. And you're never going to shift as fast as DSG. It's simple as that. It's just not going to happen. And that's cool. I get that. But in terms of like cars like an NSX and or like that of that period, they have to be manual.
Well, I think So NSX is always going to keep their value. They're going to keep going up and up. MX-5s, they're starting to turn.
NAs, definitely.
Yeah. What else? The
2000 GT Toyota.
What
you can't even touch those anymore.
Yeah.
They're like
TR22.
they're $2 million. TR22s are good. I love TR22s.
Yeah.
They've been going up. Those old rear-wheel drive like Datsuns.
Like even KE70s have turned right up.
Yeah, well, that's it. Oh.
120Ys are like expensive now. Like, what the hell was
120Y, the ugliest of those Datsuns from that era, and they're like
people want
$6 grand.
Yeah,
for the same thing. They're small, lightweight, rear-wheel
Spencer.
drive,
fun,
and you can put decent sized engines in them now. You can still put a
SR20s,
SR20 or
even an FJ20 like
FJ20. Yeah,
which should definitely be cool.
There is a guy that comes with the Super Ship with FJ20 swap.
What in a
1600.
Yeah, Datto 1600s. Yeah, those.
I like that.
Those have always been expensive, and they're always going to continue to go up. But
FJ20 turbo. You see a rock up, massive front mount. It's just so cool.
That's mad. It's like that. It's on fullboost.com. Nan 747, which is like a 120Y with a engine out of a 300 ZX.
So a VG engine.
Yeah, a VG30. Turbo, and it does like 10s. It's hilarious. It's full grandpa spec, still got the honeycombs on it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's got they had the lawn bowls on the back puzzle shelf with the old grandpa hat. Hilarious. Ultimate sleeper.
With that size tire.
Oh, it's insane. Although, like on the Drays, that they obviously put the bigger wheel on there, or they've split enlarged the wheel. But dope. Like I love stuff like that. I absolutely love stuff like
it's
that.
just like, oh, you really shouldn't do it, but screw it, we'll do it anyways.
It's just like me and my the two mates I'm got the the track car with. We love old Volvos because they're just like
the old box
ones. Yeah. So like an old 240, we're thinking like either like a Barra swap or a JZ swap, or just something stupid, and it'll be like. You blow the doors off anyone you come across at the lights, which would be a mad laugh.
Those Volvos, those boxy ones. Have you seen the 2-door versions?
Yeah, they're cool.
They actually look really good.
They're good.
Like,
yeah,
I actually really like them. Hard to admit. They go, yeah, that's actually a Volvo I like.
Yeah.
Saloon.
Yeah. Well, they're a good looking car. Like okay, the 4 doors are a bit how you going, but the 2 doors look hot, and I'm a big fan of them. People put them with like little wings and stuff. They look bad.
There's a lot of So I think every manufacturer like in that era, 80s to 90s, they had some really like bizarre concepts.
Yeah.
And then they also had some really really good, obviously, engineering behind it, and just said, let's get something.
Let's
good.
do it. I mean Volvo again with the 850R wagon. I don't know if you've seen those. Like 5-cylinder turbo. Yeah, they're quick as.
Yeah. Well, that's.
I was on Top Gear a few times when they went out to the challenges.
Oh, they had one when they went to it was Africa. Africa. Yeah, it was, and they killed it, but it was still good.
Little bit of useless information. I think that was one of the cars in Gone in 60 Seconds that they had to steal.
Well, Volvo 850R.
Yeah, one of the turbo Volvo estates.
Really? That was probably the one. Yeah,
that was in the list. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, exactly.
That's bad.
You see it for like a split second on the wall.
Volvo 850R.
Yeah. I'll have to find the list, but I'm almost certain it's on there.
What do you guys think of the S2K going up in price?
I reckon S2000s will plateau at about 10 to 15.
I think they will.
Some of them sitting at like 20k plus for the past few years.
Yeah, I think they'll go up.
Yeah,
they'll definitely go up
because
they're a Honda, and B, they're a really good car of their time.
They're a good Honda.
Yeah, and so same with the DC2R as well.
Yes.
So that again,
DC5s as well. I like DC5s. Not as much as DC2Rs though.
Yeah, I don't think DC5s will go up, but I think definitely the DC2R is possibly of that era of front wheel drives. It was possibly
it was the best. They called it the best handling front wheel drive car of the time.
Yeah,
that car. And in the States, you can't even touch them anymore because they were all stolen and stripped and destroyed. I mean, they even had like a C molded chassis. They were like a proper car for like for racing.
A car you could go pretty much to the track and still do daily duties. I mean,
yeah,
and you didn't want to buy a Porsche because you couldn't afford it, so you bought that.
Exactly,
so you could still track run. Yeah.
Next best thing.
Well, I wouldn't say the next best thing, but pretty close to it.
Pretty close to it, yeah. They're a very special car. Really, what clean ones are sort of like they're not really sought after here. Like you can pick them up for under 10 grand. But in the States, like they're like 30, 40 grand cars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they're really expensive apparently. So
yeah, I was right. It was car number 50. There you go.
No way. What the hell?
What'd they nickname it?
Lisa.
What was it, number 50? Volvo Turbo Wagon R. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, this is in the list with obviously the Eleanor Shelby GT500, Toyota Super Turbo,
yep,
Rolls Royce Shelby AC Cobra, Volvo Turbo Wagon R.
Yeah, just when you have to get the kids to the soccer training
quickly. You have to get them quick.
Yeah, and safely because it's a box.
Oh yeah, and Volvo's known for making a safe car. Look, we're going to get to our next break of the night. We're going to get to a song by Luke Million. I don't know if you guys have heard this. The song's called Arnold. So in the film clip, it's pretty hilarious. He's got it's like an old workout video of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's like him saying, "Hi, I'm Arnold." Really lame, but really cool. Really synth. Like he does synthwave. Another Aussie artist. So we support Aussie artists on community radio. So here's Arnold by Luke Million. We'll be right back after this. More Energy by that's Arnold by Luke Million. What's your first take on that song? Really weird?
No, it's pretty funny. I just keep on thinking of the pumping iron.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah, but you know that. Have you watched that whole doco?
No.
And it's just him, and he's like really. Arnold's just like paying out this one guy, telling him he should yell and stuff, so he can like when he's lifting the weights in front of the judges.
What the hell?
Like he's like a really like. Watch it and you'll understand.
What's it called?
It's
Pumping Iron.
Pumping Iron, yeah, and it's Yeah, it's just about how Arnold's entering the Mr. Universe competition. It's the year that he won. Right?
Okay.
And it's following him and the preparation and stuff. And then he's like telling like one of his competitors, "Oh, you should yell when you lift up in front of the judges, like to amp them up."
Yeah.
And they just think the guy's an absolute nut. And at the end, Arnold's wearing a T-shirt. I think it says "Arnold is great," and he's smoking a doob. It's great.
Oh, jeez, that's pretty good. I'm gonna have to watch that because Arnold. That's why. So we're gonna get into what we think the cars to look for. Our picks that are kind of outside the box. I mean, you've got your usual GDRs and stuff, but we're trying to think a bit outside the box here.
2 plus. Not a 2+2, but just a 2+0. 300 ZX in turbo.
Yes.
In manual, will go up in value.
Yeah.
They're already starting to shift now.
240K has already shot up. Oh, so 240Z.
Yeah.
Or
they're ridiculous now.
60, 70K.
Yeah.
Even the 260, I think it was still following.
Yeah, 240, 260, 280.
280 is a bit how you're going, but it's still.
Yeah, 300Z. I think they're getting rarer, even with like current state that they're in.
The 300 ZX, twin turbo. That was another one like the GTO. Really, I still think those cars look good today. Way ahead of their time. Really techy, hard to work on. People hated working on them because, like, apparently to change the plugs on a 300 ZX is like a 6-hour job.
It's not maybe back then, but now
from what I've heard from Nissan inverted commas, if they're not taking them for a ride. But yeah, like a lot of them were
they're
just
not a fun car to work on at all. No, especially a twin turbo.
Yes.
What about Aristo?
I like them. Well, I actually saw one the other night. Actually, coming from the show last week, I saw a white one. You don't really see them too often, but they're all automatic. But if you want, like, I guess a family cruiser, that's got a 2JZ under the bonnet.
Yeah, that's it. They can,
a twin turbo 2JZ.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
If you want to squeeze, 600 horsepower out of your family cruiser, why not?
Why the hell not? Yeah.
Family drift car.
Yes. But yeah,
the 300 ZX, even like the early ones, especially if you can find what was called a 200 ZX.
Ah, yes.
Which had the RB20 in it.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
so I didn't know that.
Z31 chassis.
Okay.
So same, that real pointy pop-up lights.
Yeah, again pop-ups, best thing in the world.
But yeah, they had a very limited production. They were called 200 ZX, and they had an RB20 in it.
I had no idea that they came out with an RB20.
Yeah. And then the 300 ZX had the 3-litre VG engine.
VG engine, yeah, that's right.
But I reckon those might go up in value because you don't see many of them, and it's another following on that same 240, 260, 280. Z car, yeah. They'll probably go up. Maybe not huge amounts, but if you had like a relatively
clean one,
yeah, you might find yourself making a couple of grand on it a little bit later.
Yeah. But again, it's one of those cars that needs to have the maintenance done.
Yeah.
It's
not something you want to leave just sit and rot.
No. You need. I say to all people that they say, I'm going to buy this car for just to keep and never drive. I'm like, you have to drive cars. It's the worst thing. It's worse than not than driving it constantly.
Yeah.
By just letting it sit there.
Yeah, because everything, all the
seals dry up.
And you want to keep it lubricated. You want to keep everything moving. That's what they're designed to do. Move. They're not designed to sit.
Yep.
So, yeah, make sure you drive it once a week at least, and take it to the car wash, do your maintenance, check all the seals and everything. But yeah, if you're going to do it like that, I never understood people who would buy a car, just let it sit in the garage to say, "Oh, I've got this car." It's like, go and enjoy it.
I mean, there's so many people put that, the GDSR W1 HSV that just came out.
Yeah.
And like pretty much all of them that bought it have just like put them away. I mean, this car like beat the Nissan GDR around. I think it was Wakefield Park, like lap time wise. And I'm like, this is a car that you should be driving, not parking it away and just letting it rot.
So
it's a disservice to the car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and disservice to the last of.
Yeah.
Like same with like the old Holden Monaros. That's what they're thinking they're going to come to. They're going to be like in 20 years time. They're going to be worth money. Yes, they will be, but I'd rather buy one that's had
and enjoy it.
Yeah. And enjoy it than just let it sit.
Yeah, people have told me with my F6 and that, you should not drive it as much. I'm like, well, if I don't drive it, I don't enjoy it. What do I spend my money on?
Yeah, well, I didn't buy it to sit there as a trophy.
Yeah, I mean, it sits. It's on my daily, but it's I enjoy it. I take it for long drives and enjoy it. I say to people, if you're going to buy any one of these cars that we're saying on our list, please drive them. Like, don't just let them sit there and rot.
Yeah, or don't let them get enjoyed. Like. Doesn't mean you have to drive it every day, but once a weekend or car shows and stuff. Like, bring them out and show the people. Like, everyone gets a kick out of it. Like,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. We're in agreement. Well, I was going to say the HR31 was always kind of a cool car. I always liked them.
Yeah, only the coupes. I mean,
coupes, yeah.
Every street corner's got a bloody 31 sitting there.
Yeah.
Like in a front yard, rotting. Like you don't need a 4-door, like a Laurel or something.
Laurels are cool.
They're amazing. So I've got to get rid of
Yeah, those are cool, and I definitely recommend getting them if you could get one on your hands.
I always remember watching they had the Japanese introduction video to the 31 when it came out. It had the coupe, and it was like super hikers, and it had the chin spoiler come out.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
The auto spoiler, I think it's called.
Yeah. I'm like, this car's amazing. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, one of my mates, he's got one, a coupe.
Coupe, yeah.
And
has to be a coupe.
Yeah,
just when it's not a 4-door, it has to be a coupe.
Yeah, and it's so cool. Like, he goes, it's old. It's it's an 80s car. Like, you kind of, when you buy something like that, you kind of go into it knowing what you're getting.
Yeah.
And he goes, like, there's things I hate about it, but there's so much more to love about it.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So I think, definitely if you get your hands on a cheap, cheap coupe, grab it.
Because there's not many around. You don't see many.
Yeah, and they're easy. They're not that bad to work on for an 80s car.
Yeah, I mean, it's 80s were pretty, like, they weren't, I mean, some cars were like crazy over engineered, but like some were pretty easy, and I always thought the 31s were not too hard to work on. Which brings me to my next one, which is a bit more harder to work on, an AW11 MR2.
Yeah, those are so cool, the little door wedges, but I definitely think they're going to go up. I think they
are going up, dude.
They definitely would be, especially the supercharged ones. G Limited, I think.
Yeah, G Limited, that's what they're called.
Yeah, like those are cool. I'd love to own one of them. Like, I know a few people that have had them, and they've said so much fun to drive. Not particularly easy to drive.
No, but rewarding once you get it right.
Yes, yeah.
Big fan of those. I had obviously extra turbos, but you're still iffy about them.
No, coming from a person who's owned like 3 of them, they weren't worth any money when I bought my first one.
Yeah.
They're not going to be worth any money later on.
But having said that, ET Pulsars are like creeping up.
Really?
Like from what I've seen, yeah, because they just don't exist anymore. Like they're just all gone.
Well, I think they've probably gone from like $700 to $800.
Yeah, it's an increase.
The Triple S Stanza.
Triple S Stanzas were cool, man.
Yeah, those are cool. I mean, there was, I think, sidebar to your exit, there was something called a Cherry.
Okay.
I think it's called Nissan Cherry, and what it was like an ET, but a 2-door version with a little hatch.
Oh, right.
So it had a rear hatch. Yeah, we didn't really see them here. There's very few.
Were they released here? Like as Australia delivered, or?
I don't believe so. I think they're all imports.
Okay,
very few like came through, but again, something cool, an oddity that will, someone might go, oh yeah, for
Did they have the turbo engine, or they were just?
No, I think they were the carby
ones, yeah.
1.5 carb. Yeah.
Oh, still, it's something you don't see every day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something else that's pretty cool.
Cool Webbers.
yeah, just have a massive twin set up there. Now, on the back of Mitsubishi Starions going through the roof, because like they're really expensive these days. For a good one, a crappy one is just like you can just get it for nothing. But Cordia turbos were, I mean, you either liked them or you didn't, and they even use these cars as cop cars. So
really,
they use them as cop cars. Believe it or not.
That's an interesting thing, yeah. So my cousins and that they got the fruit market and that.
Yeah.
And they're always saying, oh, we used to race cars back in the day at the fruit market in Footscray.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, well, what were you racing? And he goes, oh, we used to race Sigmas.
Sigmas?
Yeah. Oh, no, the Sigma.
That heaps of tunability.
Jason Evans is pissing himself in the background. He's dying. Right, he's rolling over.
I couldn't believe it. But
the Sigmas actually, there was straight 2.6 litre.
No, 4 cylinders.
No, you could get a 6-cylinder.
You could get an option, yeah.
Really? With a 6?
Yeah.
A 6-cylinder.
No way.
Sigma.
That's what I'm saying. They had heaps of tunability.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, and then they even had the Sigma Scorpion, the 2-door.
Yeah, I know. I remember them. Yeah. They were cool.
Yeah, I think you could get them with a 6-cylinder.
That's hilarious.
So then they just used to tune them up with like triple carbs on them and.
What the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, they were light, and that's probably why they would have responded well to that.
Same with the what was the Isuzu had it was like Gemini, but it was a Zuzu.
Well, it was the same car, pretty much. Yeah,
I can't remember the.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, but
I read up on it a few days ago.
Yeah, and they had. I think they had a turbo option available as well.
Piazza.
Oh no, it wasn't the Piazza. That really weird looking coupe.
That's.
Or was it the same thing?
Same thing. It was the same platform, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And they came with a turbo.
Yeah, and those you don't see around either.
I can't remember the last time I've seen one, to be honest.
I saw one that was for sale. It would have been for like 3 years. The guy was selling 2 of them, and he could not throw them away.
No way.
Zuzu Impulse. Impulse RS.
That might be it.
Apparently, it says here. It's in American, so 140 horsepower, 2-liter.
Yeah, that
inline 4 with iTech fuel injection.
Get around it. Get around the iTech people.
Yeah.
If you could get like a Zuzu badged, Jemmy, I'd say hold on to that.
I love Jemmys. Jemmys are cool.
Yeah, I always wanted the Tirana though.
Tirana's dope.
Yeah, LJ.
Yeah.
I'm
not really a Holland guy, but
yeah. See,
like, I'm not a
SLR 5000.
SLR 5000s are hot. I mean, come on, like flared arches.
I don't know. It's so bogan looking though. Like,
it is, but come on.
I just
flared arches.
Yeah, flared arches. Picture someone with a mullet and a wife beating
him up.
Yeah, throwing BB cans at.
That's the day of the Pacer, man. The Pacer burnouts.
Pacer burnouts, mate.
Jeez.
Oh, jeez. They're good times. Good times. Well, my last pick is a bit of a one. I can't remember the last time I've seen one of these, like a familiar Mazda GTX or GTR, which is basically a TX3 turbo as they were released here.
Yeah.
They did release the GTX here as well beside the TX3 turbo, but it didn't sell as well. That's because it didn't have twin headlights.
Yeah, the covers were they actual headlights? Or
it was headlights. Yeah, it was actually it was the whole grill.
Well,
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, really cool little cars. They had like self-raising and lowering suspension, which is really cool in the TX3 turbo. I believe. I'm not too sure if the GTX had that. They might have. They were the same car.
Because there was the TX5 turbo as well.
There was a TX5
which
turbo.
was like you had the grandpa spec 626,
and they came turbo.
Yeah, and then you had the
MX6 turbo as well. They had an
yeah,
MX6.
that's right. They were a coupe as well.
2.2 litre, coupe.
Yeah.
2.2 litre turbo. They went pretty well.
Yeah, I knew a guy had one. Jesse, he had one. This guy I knew, and yeah, he threw a lot of cash into that thing, and yeah, it was really funny because like at the
Did you
front.
by any chance have a Jetta?
No, I don't think so.
Did you get the reference?
Yeah, I got the reference.
Did it?
Steering you as far away?
He's like, oh, he
as
threw a lot of cash
possible.
on it.
Did he have
Well, his dad actually threw a lot of cash into it. There
I
you go.
know he's in jail. And then did the car have or did it not have brake calipers?
No, only on the rears.
Only
You
on the
don't need it on the
okay.
front.
No.
It just slows you down.
We're gonna get to our last pick of the night. We're gonna come back and we're gonna hear the other boys' picks. We'll be right back after this. Back on CarTorque with Manny J. Your picks, guys. What are your ones you reckon that are the ones to get ASAP?
I'll stick with my 300 ZX twin turbos, but I think maybe the old twin turbo Supra as well, the Mark III Supras with the pop-up lights.
Yes,
I reckon
pop-ups again.
Yeah,
It's a recurring theme here.
I think they might grab some value. I mean, again, they had different options, and you can put anything into them.
Yeah.
So lightweight still, rear-wheel drive.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. And they were pretty techy. They had independent rear suspension, and they were a really good car for their time.
Yeah, I think they even had the option for that, like that dash, like an LCD display dash. Yeah, and it's like kitschy stuff like that, like all
super 80s.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. What about you, James? What do you reckon?
I'm just a Mazda rotary fanboy, so obviously RX2s, RX3. But yeah, if you're gonna talk about like FDs, they're gonna obviously some of them are untouchable, but ones that you can find, they're good examples like Bathurst or Type R editions, like Spirit does. If you can get a clean S chassis, everyone knows like
good luck.
If you can get a clean S chassis, that's obviously in demand at the moment. So.
Yeah, I mean anything like S13.
Even if you can
still
find
80. Still 80 would be my pick of those.
Yeah, I mean it would be good if you could get the S12. So what came
it was a Gazelle, right?
Gazelle, yeah. But you could get those turboed. It was called
really.
There was a turbo version called the 2000 something.
Okay.
GTX or
something.
But yeah, there was the turbo version of them that came factory that you could get.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen one, but yeah.
Yeah, they're running a CA20. So
CA20?
Yeah.
There you go.
Non-turbo. CA-based engine. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Talk about VR4 like the Glens.
Yeah,
definitely.
Legnum. I was always a big fan of those.
Yeah, the Legnum maybe not so much because they're not fun to work on.
Yeah,
but like the
early ones,
the VR4
with the 4G63s, like the early ones.
Yeah. So I think those will, if you can find them,
yeah, they're hard to find.
And then of course, the early Evos as well. So anything, 1, 2, 3.
Even like the GSR.
Even the GSR, yeah. Like if you find a really clean GSR, get a hold while you can.
Yeah. So all that kind of, when they were just starting to broach the performance side of things, I think, yeah, definitely. I mean, what was the?
It's all the fanboys there.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, the early Subarus. I mean, what?
Vortex. Yeah, SVX.
Yeah, you never know.
But as we said a few weeks ago for our WRX special, if you can get a Series 1, like early GC8, original like WRX Pro, like really, really clean one, they're going up in value. Like,
even those like TRW, the wagon, they're pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, didn't really think of them.
Have you heard of like something Honda 800 or something?
S800.
I'm not sure. Something 800?
Yeah, there was a...
S800, yeah.
Yeah, S800, which was the original coupe.
Okay.
It's like a coupe hatch sort of style.
Wasn't that one the one that was based on like a motorcycle engine or something? Or?
Yeah, they pretty much all were.
Yeah. Well, look, thanks for coming on the show, guys. We're out of time.
All right.
That's unfortunate.
I know. We could keep talking forever, but we've got the next show coming on right now. Tune in next week to CarTorque at 7 p.m. And also listen to Man vs. Movies at 6. Listen to Dr. Rock Show on a Monday night and Thursday night, which are always good listening. Plenty of dad jokes, so if you're into that, listen to that. If you miss any of our shows, like our Facebook page, CarTorque, TORQUE with Matty J. We've got all our podcasts on there through our link on Shout Engine. And if you listen on iTunes, it's on there as well. So don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. This has been CarTorque with Matty J. I'll see you same time next week, 7 p.m. Take it easy.
This is professional radio, gentlemen.
And it's front-wheel drive.
Scotty, have you got anyone you want to thank?
Just myself.
And now we're Doogie After Hours. Dun, dun, dun.
Gentlemen, what would you go for?
Dacia Sandero.
Okay, and because it's not a supercar.
But it is.
It's not.
Automotive perfection comes in the form of two letters, A and U.
Long live my LTD!